So, a televangelist, for those of you that don't know, is an evangelical minister who utilizes television and increasingly radio or the internet to broadcast religious services, spread their faith, and appeal to viewers for financial donations. Downfall was in the late 80s, was triggered by a sex scandal that exposed massive financial fraud.
Trucks going down the road, they see this object, the driver doesn't want to stop, but Travis says, hey, I've got a bright idea. I want to stop. Would you stop and investigate?
Nope.
Would you do this, or would you just keep driving? No,
Nope.
huh? No. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably shit myself, but then I would probably go up there with a pants full of shit,
No,
I
I'd
guess. But
probably drive faster. I would probably be like, nope,
I'd be
we're getting
curious.
out of here. His then wife, Tammy Faye, he also developed Heritage USA, a now defunct Christian theme park in Fort Mill, South Carolina. Let's talk about Jimmy Swaggart. Now, he is infamous for being the one, I believe, that Jim Carrey made fun of in Living Color with a skit where he played the
Yes.
televangelist pastor with the I have sinned. He's infamous for that,
Yes.
right? So let's talk about why, for the younger ones in the audience that weren't born in the 80s. Famously caught in two major sex scandals involving prostitutes. In 1988 in New Orleans, he was secretly photographed at a motel with a sex worker, which led to his tearful "I have sinned" televised confession and his dismissal from the Assemblies of God denomination.
But they went back to find him and he wasn't there. What are your thoughts? You can say abduction. It's okay.
Potentially, but then 3 years later, so he didn't learn his lesson. In Indio, California, he was detained by the California Highway Patrol after being pulled over for driving on the wrong side of the road in a Jaguar with a different sex worker. Officers also found pornographic magazines inside the vehicle. Why are you keeping pornos in your Jag, my man? That's something.
Where else are you going to put it at? Why is he driving on the wrong side of the road?
He's in a Jaguar. It's a British car. Maybe he thought it just was meant to be.
So there were pieces of this. He claimed he woke up lying on a table, bright lights overhead, small beings with oversized heads and eyes surrounded him.
So another famous televangelist, Billy Graham, when talking about Jimmy Swaggart.
Yep.
Following Jimmy Swaggart's 1988 prostitution scandal, Billy Graham offered a response of grace rather than condemnation. He famously stated, "If it happened to evangelist Jimmy Swaggart, it could happen to me."
Fascinating.
So, wait, did you just say you're also buying prostitutes? Is that what we're doing here?
So yeah, of course. Well, he's shifting blame, right? It's the
if it could happen to him, it could happen to anybody. Any of us could get caught driving on the wrong side of the road in a Jaguar with a prostitute 3 years after getting busted with another prostitute.
Porn in the back.
What are we doing? What do you mean it could happen to anybody?
Just saying.
It's not like stubbing your toe, forgetting to sign a check. I mean, come on. It happened to you, happened to me.
But later, he described encountering a taller, human-looking figure in another room before losing conscious again.
Talk about Olstein. We'll round this episode out with our solid 4 horsemen of the apocalypse here.
Evangelism.
Joel. What? Which one? Mine or yours? Oh yeah,
all of them. You could horsemen of the apocalypse. You're just telling me that little old Inez, little old Pearl, they're coming in every week. They're making donations into the plate, and he's pulling a little bit of it off, and he's giving it to Cinnamon Sky out there on the street at sunset and driving her in his
giving it to old Rusty Diamond.
That's what I'm hearing right now. Oh, Mama Pearl and Inez, they're paying for his sins. And Cinnamon Sky is living the high life right now on a 90-year-old penis. That's what I'm hearing right now. They put some sort of weird mouth thing mouthpiece in his mouth, and they pump something in his mouth. Then he gets these eye clamps on, and then down comes the needle out of this big, I don't know, whatever it is, contraption in the ceiling, and it drops like this goo in his eye that covers it. And then you're led to believe, obviously, the needle penetrates into his eye, but That's an image. It's just burned into my brain.
This guy feels like he's staring through my screen into my
It's the
soul.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
of
well, it's only
evangelists.
3. But yeah, these are definitely, if you were going to make a Mount Rushmore of bad televangelists, these are the 3. These are your highlight reel right here.
Yeah, you pick. It's like somebody in a Bigfoot suit and the Bigfoot. You're right. I mean, you can fake a lot of that.
You will never convince me that Bigfoot's not real.
Oh, I'm not trying to convince you one way or the other. I'm just saying you can fake that.
No. First congregants. So he's one that says, if you give me money, God will then bless you with more money than what you currently have and are giving.
Correct.
I don't think that's how God works. I don't think he's an ATM. It hurts this story is the fact that these other stories have been disproven, or there is no concrete evidence, right? Like every time you see a picture of the Loch Ness Monster, it's a grainy, pixelated, black and white mess, and you can't make out anything in the photo. Or if it's a video of Bigfoot, it's the same thing. I'm going to ask point blank, do you believe in aliens?
I do. I believe there are other... I am not so high and mighty to believe we're the only intelligent life, in the universe.
It would be very arrogant of us as a species to believe that across all these different planets, all these different galaxies, that we are the only intelligent life form in all of it. I don't think God's sitting up there with one of those green see-through visors, a cigarette behind his ear, and the big crank calculator. You know what I mean? And you're hitting the 10 key. I don't think that's how that works.